Good morning, everyone. I should say actually good afternoon. It's noontime on Friday. And
Good
Happy
afternoon.
New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. I am the Executive Director with the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to make my introductions. But for those who are just joining us, put your information and your questions in the chat. What's going to happen is we have Man Lynn, who is going to be making a presentation on behalf of the SBA. She is so busy with the presentations all day long, she is not going to be able to do a Q&A. However, the information that you put in and the questions in the chat, the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce and our panel of expertise on the back end who are joining us as attendees will be able to answer your questions. So we have Republic Bank, who is going to be assisting on the PPP lending. So if you don't have a lender, we have Republic Bank, who is a community partner with us. We also have Robert Russo, CPA. He is on as an attendee. He will be answering questions with us, as well as I believe that we have Jack Craven, who is our board member, who is also a CPA on. So like I said, please feel free to put your information in the chat and the questions. We will get back to you and answering the questions for you. And Mark, I'm going to introduce.
Well, thank you,
Mark.
Helena. I think Helena has said it all. Since the pandemic started, Helena has stepped up with the skills on social media. We've been proud to work with our partner at the Small Business Administration, and Manly Lynn, I've known you now for about 15 years. You've been the economic development specialist there, and she takes her work very seriously. Prior to working at the SBA, she worked for the Department of Labor. So the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce works with agencies, and those are two of our partner agencies that have been very important during this pandemic. Again, Helena, you've done a marvelous job and putting together an expert panel because there are so many questions. First round
well, hold on for 1 second. We just have Ralph Rodriguez, also City National Bank,
yes,
as a community partner with us. So he will be on our panel also. Nice to see you, Ralph.
Yes. And Ralph also serves on our Military Affairs Committee and City National Bank. I like to call the Hollywood Bank here in New York. Has been doing a great job, as has our sponsor bank, Republic, which has been doing very well, helping people with their PPP loan questions, whether they got the PPP loan from their bank or another bank. So we've all gotten in this together. The first round, through our vociferous efforts, PPP money finally got out to our membership, and now we've been busy with the PPP loan forgiveness. Our panelists include our board member, Jack Craven. He's been excellent on helping people fill out those forms. Robert Russo, I want to thank you for jumping on board. And you know, Mr. Rodriguez from City National Bank. Man Lee, this is, you have a lot to say. You're going to talk about the second round of PPP lending. I'm sure you're going to mention a little bit more about PPP loan forgiveness for the first round. And I already see in the chat some great questions, but one I know that's coming up and we're going to spend more time on next week, probably through a Zoom conference, is saving the stages. Governor Cuomo's State of the State was so inspirational. And Manly now is going to, Manly Lynn's going to give us more details on the second draw of the PPP loan application. She has an ambitious agenda. So if you have questions at the end, put them in your chat. You can always contact us at 212-CHAMBER or just email info@chamber.nyc. Our staff is here and available to help you with this paperwork, to help you with the rules, and to help you get through this pandemic. We are one strong business and civic group. And again, I want to thank Helena, Republic Bank, and Robert Russo, and Jack Craven, and of course, City National Bank also. Man Lee.
Take it away, Man Lee.
Okay, thank you. So today I will talk about both of the first draw PPP loan and the second draw PPP loan because there are some rules change. Okay. Okay, so this is updated information. So for those you already got the first PPP loan, you haven't applied for the forgiveness, actually already have 1.1 million PPP loan for got their forgiveness. Total amount is up to $100 billion. So if we're still waiting for the new forms come out, so if your loan, first PPP loan amount is of 150,000 or less, you can wait for the new form for to apply for the forgiveness. But if more than $150,000, I really encourage you, you should submit your forgiveness application. And then because later you will see, actually, you have to prove that you already used or well used. So just make the first PPP, you just feel, more comfortable. Actually, you get 100% of your forgiveness. Okay. And this is just announced that actually SBA already start receiving for the second round. No matter your first drop or second drops, actually start from Monday and Wednesday. So today actually still have some small banks or lenders actually open, and formally, okay, all the lenders actually can submit their application to SBA on next Tuesday, January 19th. So please contact your lender. Okay, so if you need the lenders, actually you can later I will show you there are two links. Actually you can search them. Okay, so another good news, actually actually if you applied for the forgiveness, before last week's, actually they say by law, actually I conduct that too. So actually SBA by Congress request have to deduct EIDL advance from your forgiveness amount. The EIDL advance is $1,000 per employee up to $10,000. So right now that rules actually was eliminated. So just wait for your lender will send you the new notification. Okay, the new notice about if you still have the loan balance or you are 100% forgiven. We know that actually PPP maybe is not enough for you. So I encourage you also apply for EIDL. EIDL actually is disaster loan. So the good things actually, even your loan application is approved, you don't have to accept it. So I just encourage you to apply right now, anything that eligible for you. And then when they approve you, they will send you an email, ask you to decide the loan amount, and then send you the loan, the documentation. That time you don't have to accept it. Okay, it depends on your situation. So this is the website that actually you can apply for EIDL. And for PPP, all the information you can see at our sba.gov/PPP. Including maybe the new forms actually were announced soon. So about PPP, I still need to let everybody know, okay, no matter you applied before or not, the interest rate is 1% and maturity time is 5 years. So, but I think most of the borrowers will get 100% forgiven. That's why it's very important. Please actually should come to my seminar actually to learn about forgiveness application. This afternoon is 3 o'clock. I have one. So make sure that you use the money in a correct way, in the right place. So you will get 100% forgiveness. So as PPP loan will become a grant for you. Okay, so PPP loan, no collateral, no personal guarantees, no fees from SBA or any lenders. Forgiveness actually can be full or partial, depends on how you spend the money. So if you submit your forgiveness application to your lender will have 60 days to submit to SBA. SBA will have 90 days to make the final decision and remit to your lender. So that's the day that actually, if still have balance, that's the day you have to start the repayment. If a borrower does not apply for the loan forgiveness, then have to start payment 10 months after the last day of your cover period. Okay, so for the first loan, PPP loan, actually you only can choose either 8 or 24 weeks as your cover period. The second turn, actually, the second round actually is different. You can choose any number between 8 and 24, any number that actually those weeks are for your cover period. So that's a big change for the second round of PPP loan. Now we will talk about the first draw loan. Okay, the first draw loan means you didn't get PPP loan, for the first round, so you are the first draw loan. So on the top is the link to all the information you need. So important to know the use of PPP funds. So in same thing, you can include your payroll cost, and that's the main purpose of PPP loan. You have to use more than 60% of your loan proceeds for your payroll cost, including benefits. Later we will go to the detail. But good things, actually, they explain the non-payroll cost that you can include in your forgiveness is originally only mortgage interest, rent, and utility. Now, if you buy the PPP for your workers, that cost can be included. And also uninsured property damage cost, maybe because the routine or vandalism actually in 2020. So those costs can be included, and certain supplier costs. Okay, so like perishable goods, actually. So, and the last one, the good things actually, if you need to upgrade your computer, software, cloud computing, and other human resources, or the accounting needs, actually those computer actually costs can be included in the 40%. Just keep in mind, okay, for the non-payroll cost, you cannot use the proceeds more than 40% for those costs. Then you will be safe to get 100% forgiven. So the forgiven terms I already mentioned. Now, actually, the main purpose of PPP, okay, is to retain your employees, okay. So actually, you should keep the records during your cover period. Like each of your employees, the time they work, the weeks they work, or the cash compensation you pay to them. Actually, when you apply for the forgiveness, actually, you need those information. And then keep in mind at least 60%. Okay, that's the most important things that you can get 100% forgiven. Okay. Now, who can apply for the first draw? Most are the same. Okay, so you are a small business, have fewer than 500 employees, including nonprofit organizations. And this time, actually, we have 3 special groups of like nonprofit organization or profit, housing, the last road here, housing cooperative 501c6 organization or destination marketing organizations. They have to be less than 300 employees. They can apply too. They can be eligible too. So the second one, you have to meet SBA's size standard and have fewer than 500 employees, or meet the special alternative size standard. So later I will give you the link that you can check. And also, of course, now the restaurants and hotels, actually NAICS code begin with 72. You don't have more loan amount for the first PPP, okay? But later when I talk about the second PPP, second row, actually, if your next code begin with 72, so actually you can get more money, but not for the first time applicant. Okay, so just keep in mind the new applicants for PPP loan, the employees number is fewer than 500 employees, except the last one. Okay, housing cooperative, 501c6, and destination marketing organization. That's 300 employees. Others are all 500 employees. So about the reapplying and loan increase, this information actually, I will talk about that in another webinar. So only those existing borrowers, that means you already get the first PPP loan, but you haven't received loan forgiveness before December 27, okay? Then you can reapply because maybe you returned some or all of your first PPP loan, or actually because the new rules actually, so maybe you can get more PPP loan amount, okay? And the end of this time's application will be March 31st, okay? So start from January 1st to March 31st. And at the bottom, the last row is the links. Actually, you can find the participating lenders. So here, for this week, actually, only those community financial institution, SBA received the application from them, especially have the $15 billion set aside for those in those business in the low or moderate income neighborhood. If you have fewer than 10 employees, or actually the loan amount is less than 250K, actually you should go to those lenders, have a special set aside amount for you. This is the SBA Small Business Size Standard link. So first things, you have to make sure that you are a small business. Okay, so this is some documents actually we just provide you to let you know what you should get prepared. Most of you can get those 941, 944. For nonprofit organization is 990. For sole proprietor, you have used the 1040 Schedule C, or anybody use the 1099, then you can use that one. And the last one is if you are a seasonal employees, so you have to use the period actually between 2019, February 15th to June 30th. Now we look at the form. This one, you just check one for your business structure. Add one is the one add here. Two actually is 501c6 and also housing cooperative. The business information, we encourage you just match, the information should be matching with your information on your IRS forms, okay? And number 4, this is something new, year of establishment, if applicable. So if you are a self-employed individual or independent contractor, you can put a not available, an A there. And next code, that's something new too. You have to meet the size standard, so you have to check the one that actually fit in your situation, and the contact information, and of course business tax ID or individual's social security number. Just please make sure the information is correct. So now you have to calculate your loan amount. So the first thing you have to calculate and then enter your average monthly payroll. So later, next slide, actually, I will explain that. Then you times 2.5. So PPP loan is provide you 2.5 months of your payroll cost. If you got your EIDL loan, okay, before April 3rd, 2020, then you should add your number here. The reason is because idle loan, the interest rate is 3.75%. So PPP loan is 1%. So it's like a refinance, okay? Refinance your idle loan to a lower interest rate. So that's helping you. Number of employees, when you applied, actually you just count all the number of your employees, no matter including full-time and part-time, just head count. But later when you apply for the forgiveness, that's different. Actually, you have to calculate the FTE, the full-time equivalent employee. So that's totally different. Now it's head count only. Then you have to check all those items that actually you think you'll spend, your loan proceed on those items. Please check all of them. Okay, but main purpose is payroll cost. The other things I want to remind, just share with you, if you just spend all your loan proceeds on the payroll cost, that's 100%, then that's easiest one when you fill out the forgiveness form. You don't have to provide other expenses documentation. All the owners own more than 20% of the your business. Actually, you have to provide their information, including their tax ID number or social security number. Okay, now we talk about how do you calculate that. So first, actually, this is a change. Actually, you can use the payroll for 2019 or 2020 if you were in operation the 2 years. Okay, 2019 the whole year. Okay, so you can use that one. If you're a seasonal business, actually, you should use, I already mentioned 2019, February 15 to June 30th. And if you're a new business, then you can use 2020, January to February, 2 months to calculate your payroll, 2019 or 2020. I think most of the borrowers, you will choose 2019 because that amount is higher in 2020 than for your payroll cost. So then how do you calculate your average monthly payroll? So if you use 2019 or 2020 the whole year, you can just get the amount from your tax form, especially 2019 whole year. Then the next steps, actually, if any of your employees actually got more than 100K, for the whole year, then you have to deduct or subtract those amount more than 100K because the maximum only can go up, cap at 100K. Then you divide by 12, or actually, or depends on how many months. If you are seasonal, then divide by accordingly. The next one, the next item, you have to calculate your loan request. So after you calculate your monthly payroll, then you times 2.5 or 2019, depends on you, your situation. Okay, then times 2.5, and then add those idle that you received before April 3rd. Then that will be your loan request. If you are a sole proprietor or independent contractor, including wages, commissions, any income or net earning from your self-employed, but also capped at $100,000. So there are some situations actually not eligible. Okay, so first one, if engage, you have involved or engaged in non-illegal activities. The second one, if you hire, like nannies or housekeeper for those household, workers, actually they cannot be included in your payroll cost. Number 3 and 4, actually, we will go over that. If any owners own more than 20% have any, criminal records, actually, you have to check details, actually, for the year, how many years actually count back. And number 5, hedge funds or private equity firms are not eligible. And if a business received illegal gaming revenue, they're not eligible. And also, if presently involved in any bankruptcy, actually is not eligible. So this is just provide for you if you use 1040 Schedule C, especially if you are a partner in a partnership situation. Okay. This is how you calculate. So if you don't have employees, okay, and this is if you have employees, how you calculate that. So I just provide this information for you, and also the document that actually you can prepare. The second section is the question. There are 9 questions. If you answer 1, 2, 5, 6, yes, then you are not eligible. So the first one is if you got a federal government contract or any program benefits, but you were suspended or debarred, or you voluntarily excluded from participation, you are not eligible. Or presently you involved in any bankruptcy. The number 2 is any owners or more than 20% actually got SBA loan or any other federal agencies funding currently delinquent or defaulted in the past 7 years. Okay, and number 3, any owners actually they have other business or manage other business actually is eligible, but you need to provide the information. Number 4 is eligible. Okay, if you receive the EIDL before April 3rd, actually, but you need to provide the information. Number 5 and number 6 are 2 questions related to the criminal, records actually. So have to initial them. Okay, and most of the time actually not qualified for the PPP loan. Number 7, when you calculate your payroll cost, only can count, okay, include those employees. All of your employees have to be, residents actually in US, okay? And when you calculate the payroll cost, you cannot count those employees not in US. Number 8 and number 9 is regarding the financing franchise. If you're a franchise, you have to answer the 2 questions here. The next part will be the certification. Okay, just read. Really need read carefully. We know right now already have a lot of people actually. The borrowers actually they are in jail right now because they didn't provide the information correctly. Okay, so together with your affiliates, if you have that situation, you have to certify, actually, okay, you certify you are independent contractor, self-employed, or sole proprietor with no employees. So actually, you are eligible even you don't have employees, okay? So you count yourself as an employee. So when you answer how many employees, at least you have to put 1, okay? You cannot put 0. The second one, if you are not those groups, housing cooperative or 501c6, or those destination marketing organization, and you have not more than 500 employees. And the number 3, you are those organization, and you have fewer than 300 employees. So there are there are different group of nonprofits. So just one is 300 employee. So for the first drop of PPP loan, most of the employee number is are 500 employees, except the last one. Okay, so those 3 type of nonprofit organization actually cannot more than 300 employees. The number 4, if your next code begin with 72, each of your physical location actually cannot have more than 500 employees. Those like franchise restaurants, okay, or hotel. Number 5, if you're a news organization owned or controlled by those next code 511110 or 5151, actually you cannot have employees more than 500. And then number 6, you meet the SBA's size standard. So later we'll have a website link for you. And you will say, no, I will comply with the civil rights and other limitation in this form. Next one is important. You certify you will be, the loan proceed will be used only for business related purpose. They add something new, okay? Prohibit actually on those proceed used for lobbying activities and expenses, okay? And also for the news organization, the loan proceed will be used to support those produce or distributes locally for focused or emergency information, okay? And the last one, that you understand that SBA encourage business to purchase American-made equipment and products. This one cannot engage in any activity that is illegal. Idle loan actually before April 3rd, actually those actually for was designed for operation cost. So the best situation is you separate the PPP loan for payroll cost and then the idles actually for operating cost. The last one, you authorize SBA to request criminal record information about you. And there are more self-certification. So actually the simplified form this time, they just, they just show they trust you. So you just answer that. And then the lenders actually, they will just use the information and then to approve, make decision of your loan eligibility. The next one, so all of this actually you need to initial, your initial each of them. So the first thing is actually you were in operation on February 15, 2020. That's the first question you have to be make sure, and has not permanently closed. But if temporary complying with government's guidance, you lock down, that doesn't count. Okay, so you're individual or you have employees, okay, as long as you pay them. The second one is current economic uncertain situation. You really need the money. Okay, the third one, actually, you will use the money to retain workers and maintain payroll. So means that actually later, actually, you have to have a document to prove that actually the numbers of your full-time equivalent employees, and then you pay them. So you need to have those, keep those records for the forgiveness. For loan forgiveness, for the non-payroll cost, you can only use more than less than 40% of your loan proceed. And later, actually, when you apply for forgiveness, actually, you have to verify the number of full-time equivalent. I already mentioned that. So that's very important. Just you have to make sure you use the money in the correct way. And the last one, you has not and will not receive another loan under the PPP program. If you have more than one business, you can apply one PPP loan for each of them. Okay, the first round. And for people for the second rounds, actually they are qualified too if they meet the requirement. Later we will talk about. The next one to say the president, vice president, and head of department and Congress member and their spouses actually does not directly or indirectly hold a controlling interest in the applicant. The next one that you are not an issuer, like the stocks exchange, those securities. And the last one actually here is all the information is actually you provide is true and accurate. You know that actually is publishable, is punishable, okay, if they are not true. The last one, so the lenders actually can share your tax information, especially for the SBA Office of the Inspector General. Then you sign and date it. Okay, so following actually are the instruction when you complete the form. So today actually you will have lenders and experts here to answer your questions. So I just want to let you know if you have questions here. I think I already mentioned this page is important, how to calculate your average monthly payroll here. Okay, so they have different sections for different business structure. For seasonal business, please read here. You use the 2019 February 15 to 2020 February 15. Okay, those actually you can choose 12 weeks actually periods. That's for your cover period. And also your payroll calculation period. For farmers and ranches, use Schedule F. And for if any of you use the 1040 Schedule C, and the last one, if you're a partnership, use the Form 1065K1. So please look at the detailed information if you're one of those categories. Here, I already mentioned all of them. I just want to emphasize, actually, they want to help you refinance, actually, your EIDL loan. This is the last one, last page, actually, is optional, is demographic information form. Here, I also provide 3 slides regarding the new groups that actually can apply for PPP loan this term. 501c6, okay, I list here. So if you're one of this category, please read carefully. And for the destination marketing organization, cannot use, use the money or receive the money more than 15% actually for lobbying, okay? And the section 42, actually PPP actually they are not eligible for for the PPP for those publicly traded company. Then this is for the news organizations. Okay, so I won't go to the detail. Now we talk about the second draw PPP loans. Okay, so means you already got the first PPP. Now you're going to apply for the second PPP loan. Okay, so this is the same thing that I already mentioned. They expand those expenses. The non-payroll cost actually can be included that you can use the money for. The other changes is one of the changes, I think this is excellent. You can choose any number between 8 and 24, those weeks for your cover period. So you decide your cover period, not just like before, only you can use 8 or 24 weeks, okay? And I think most of borrowers can use more than 60% within your, your chosen cover period. Okay, the next part is most important things today. You have to make sure you are eligible. Number 1, you already received your first draw PPP loan. Okay, the second one, you will or has used the full amount only for authorized uses. Means you already use up all your amount, okay, loan proceed, or you make sure that actually you will use that. That's why I say, actually for you, I think you already I think most of you already use up the money, so just make it easier for the lender actually. So for authorized uses, okay, so you have to make sure that actually you use the authorized uses only, nothing else, okay? Then you have fewer than 300 employees. So for the second drop of PPP loan, the employees number lower, okay, from 500 to 300. So first drop is 500. The second drop is 300 employees. The number three, you need to do the calculation and find your financial statement or your accounting numbers. Actually, make sure at least one quarter. Okay, in 2000 compare 2019 and 2020, at least one quarter actually, your gross receipt, or gross receipt is the same as gross revenue or gross income, at least a 25% reduction. Okay, means you just have more than 25%, lower than the same quarters in 2019. Later, I will have the table for you to explain that. Then after you calculate the average monthly payroll, you times 2.5. Okay, that's your loan amount, but capped at $2 million. So this the second round actually lower the maximum amount to $2 million. But good news, okay, if you are a hotel or restaurant or any business, your next call begin with 72. Actually, you can get 3.5 months of your average monthly payroll. So this is good news, okay? But the still capped at $2 million. The maximum only $2 million. So you can apply before March 31st. And there are two websites here. You can find the lenders, or SBA actually have a lender match. So you answer the questions. Actually, we will send to all the lenders actually. So so they will do the match for you, tell you which lender you can go to. The following one, so have set aside $25 billion actually for the second draw. Okay, for the first draw is $15 billion. For the second draw is $25 billion. If you have fewer than 10 employees or your loan amount is less than 250K, actually those lenders can help you. Those community financial institution can help you. Actually, I just received a list of those CDFI, MDI, and a small like small lenders actually. So if you need that, actually you can send me an email. So this is the form. Okay, the first one is same. Just choose your business structure. And then this is all the same. Now they need your year of established. If you don't have, you just put a not available. And here you calculate your average monthly payroll and then times 2.5. Except those business actually their next call start with 72. They times 3.5. Okay. And then number of employees here actually cannot more than 300. And then finally, the last one, okay, you have to provide your PPP first draw SBA loan number. So there are two the loan number. One is lender's loan number. The other one is SBA's loan number. So make sure actually you fill in the correct one. And also, if you don't know your SBA loan number, you can ask your lender. They have that number. The next one, okay, you have to provide the information, okay, which quarter or the whole year. Actually, there are two situations. any quarter in 2020 compared to the same quarter in 2019. At least 25% of the gross receipt reduction. Or you can compare the whole year. If you were in operation the whole year 2019 and 2020, so you can use the whole year. For example, and also because you already submit your 2019 tax return to the lender for the first PPP, so that will be the easiest way for your lender and you. So you can fill in annual, means you want to compare, because if you have more than 25% reduction, compare the whole year, means at least one quarter must be more than 25%. Okay, so you can use 2 years tax return or the financial report to make sure that actually you are 25% reduction. So but in the form, okay, if your loan amount is more than 150K, you have to fill in here which quarter you want to compare. Okay, use one quarter. So here they have examples, say 2Q, the second quarter 2020, and how much your gross receipt or your revenues. And then the comparison, okay, the reference quarter means comparison quarter is 2Q 2019, and the gross receipt, if you have to show the number is 25% lower. So, but I will have a table that if you were not in operation the whole quarters, okay, the 4 quarters in 2019 or 2020, actually, I will explain how you can calculate those. If your loan amount is less than 150K, you don't have to provide the information now. If you don't have, okay, you don't have, but I think it's good that actually you already calculate and make sure you have, so you can provide that information. But before you apply for the forgiveness, you have to have those information and documentation to support your claim. The last one, if all the owners own more than 20%, actually you have to provide the information. Now I created this table for you. Okay, so please look at the top one. So that's the green colors one means you were in operation. So means 2019 you were in operation the whole year, quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2020. Okay, you have to choose the same quarter in 2020 to compare with the same quarter in 2019, and then see which one. Actually, you can choose anyone, and less than 25%. So the yellow one actually is how you calculate 25%. Please look at the second table. If you only open 2019, the third quarter and fourth quarter, then you can use any quarters in 2020 compared to any, like quarters, third quarter or fourth quarter, you can choose one, okay? You can choose, see which one actually you will meet the 25% reduction. So that's good. The third one, if you only in operation in quarter 4, okay, in 2019, then you can use any quarters in 2020 to compare with that quarter. And finally, the last one, if you start your business actually in 2020, the first quarter, then you can use the second, third, or fourth quarter, any quarters actually compared to the first quarter. Okay, so I think this is clear for you. You choose a lot of choices and you can make to fit that, okay, to be qualified 25% reduction. This section, the same thing, have 8 questions, okay, 1 less. So this is the same. This is the same for the criminal charges. And this is the same too. Okay, so for just you may later actually you will see the certification. Actually, they have some changes about the business. Actually, if they have relations actually with People Republic of China or Hong Kong. Okay, so make sure you only count those employees actually reside in U.S. This is those certification. This is the same, just number change from 500 for the first PPP now to 300. Okay. This one, same thing, business related purpose and you not engage in any illegal activities and also criminal records. You authorize SBA to get that. Okay, on here, make sure that actually you have proof that actually you were open on February 15th, especially for the self-employed or the independent contractor. Then gross received here, I just explained, okay, more than 150 or less than 150. Actually, they are different, okay. More than 150, you have to provide those documents and the numbers there. Okay, here is you have to make sure you will or you have used the full loan amount before the lenders disperse money to you. Okay, so for example, you when you apply, actually you haven't used up, but or you cannot provide the documentation, but when your lender submit to SBA, SBA and approve that loan, send back to your lender. Your lender only have 10 days, okay? They have to disperse the money to you within 10 days. So I think actually you should prepare those documents. Don't wait to the last minute. So you will use the payroll and at least 60% and forgiveness. You not more than 40% you will use for the non-payroll cost. Okay, so here the same certification with the first draw. Okay, this is something new. Okay, on this slide actually, if any business created in or organized under the laws of the People's Republic of China and Hong Kong, or has significant operations in the People's Republic of China or Hong Kong, owns or holds directly or indirectly more than 20% of the economic interest of the business, including as equity shares or a capital or profit interest in a LLC or partnership, or returned as a member of the board of director of the business, but that person actually is a resident of the People's Republic of China. So those are not, okay, not qualified, okay. And then the following one, the applicant is not required to submit a registration statement, means not a representative from a foreign country. They have to sign the registration statement. The last one, the applicant is not primarily engaged in political or lobbying activities, including the research or for engaging in advocacy for the such as the public policy or political strategy. Okay, here is you just have to certify all the information is true and correct. Otherwise, and also that's punishable. And the last one, you agree that lender can share your tax information, then you sign and date it. Okay, so those following slides are for the instructions for you. Here, this slide is important, okay? So how do you calculate average monthly payroll? So on slide 79 and 80s first, they have different category for that explanation. Seasonal business, new business, farmers and ranges, or you use 1040 Schedule C, or you partners. Okay. This one I already explained. I just want to make sure. This is a slide that actually I made the table for you, so made it clear. Okay. Growth. Okay, these slides and the next slides are very important too. Have the important information that how to, what items can be included and what items cannot be included for in your gross revenue. Okay, so here total income, and then do not include the following. Okay, so they list here. So please read carefully or just discuss that with your content. And this is some items cannot be excluded from your gross receipt, means have to be included in your gross revenue. Okay, and the last one, if you are one of those three groups, actually for the nonprofit organization, then according to your those the definition of the gross receipt. Okay, here I already explained that, and this is the last page. Okay, so I also include here for the second drop interim final rules, actually have 42 pages only. Okay, so if I think I already covered most of the important information, but if you have more questions, you can read this, can find your answer. So I just want to share with you, if you have idle question or problem, please contact the SBA Disaster Center directly. And also, I think the Save Our Stage, right now, the formal name of that is Sheltered Venue Operator Act. Okay, so that's a grant. Actually, I think we're coming out soon, next week. So just waiting for that information. If you get that grant, actually, you cannot apply for PPP. So just maybe make sure that you don't want to apply or not qualify to apply for that grant. Okay, and then second one, if you need one-on-one counseling, you can contact our resource partner, SCORE, SBDC, and Women Biz Center. And then third one, PPP loan, you can consult with your CPA attorney, or if have issue with your lenders, you have to contact your lenders actually to solve that problem. Okay, that concludes my presentation today. So turn back to Mark or Elena.
Thank you, Manly. And again, very thorough. What we have seen here is a thorough walkthrough of an application. And obviously, we can get the table out to you. But more importantly, we have some experts on the Zoom conference. Just contact Elena, info@chamber.nyc, myself, Jaffe at chamber.nyc.
One quick question, Mark. Hold on for 1 second. Manly, can we,
Yes.
will you be sending me the PowerPoint presentation or no?
I can send that, but I just want to make sure you understand. I'm still updating the new information. Okay, so that's not final. You should go to our website to see the new information, or attend one of my another webinars next week to get the new information. So don't hold on to those information that I
Good
sent
comments.
you
And
today.
just reach out to 212
Very
Chamber.
important. Everyone was asking about that.
Okay.
We'll get you up to date.
Yes, and they can go to sba.gov. They can email info@chamber.nyc. You can contact myself or Mark, and we will get you, we have a business center with people that are knowledgeable in this area that will be able to assist you. And if there are specific questions, you can email me and then I can ask Manly through an email.
Good, good. Man Lee, people were asking about a 3 p.m. webinar you're doing this afternoon.
Yes.
You want to give that a shout out?
Okay, I will find the link and just post on the Q&A for everybody. Or
I think I have a copy of it, Manly.
Oh, okay, good.
I'll contact the person.
right,
But,
because I
go
think
ahead,
the
Manly.
forgiveness
Sabrina will be
is
right
very
too.
important. Learn about the forgiveness application. For the first drop or second drop, you need to know. You don't want to pay that as a loan, right? So you need to learn, and that's the most complicated actually information. Actually, I want to share with you.
One quick question, because everyone wants to know, do you have to already be approved for your forgiveness to apply for the second round of the PPP?
No, you don't have
Okay.
to, right?
Everyone, did you hear that? Because a lot of people were asking me. You do not have to already get approved for your loan forgiveness on the first round to apply for the second round. So you can apply for the second round.
Yes, there are 2 independent loans. Another question asked, the 150 forgiveness amount for the different applications. No, that you could do that for the first draw and another 150 or less for the second draw. They're independent.
No, the first, actually, we're still waiting, okay? The new forms is coming out. So if your first PPP loan amount is less than 150K, you should wait maybe for 1 or 2 weeks to fill out the new form, okay? Because I saw actually several banks actually notify their borrowers, say, do you want to withdraw your first forgiveness application and wait for the new form? So my suggestion is, I think the new form will come out soon. So just wait for the new form. If less than 150K, if your loan amount is more than 150K, you should apply right now, okay? Because will be traffic jams actually on the website.
Okay, one other question that people were asking that was a common thing. For the second PPP loan, you do you can compare quarter for 2019, the same quarter for the 2020, or are you doing the entire year? And I believe it's the quarter, correct?
No,
Yep.
both, okay? So if you were in operation in 2019, the whole year, and the 2020, so because you already submit your 2019 tax return when you apply for the first one, so actually that's the best situation actually. So you get your financial statement or report actually to prove that the whole year 2020 is 25% lower, because if the whole year is more than 25%, means at least 1/4 is lower, okay, is more than 25%. So you can choose that. But okay, so that's the situation. You can choose
You
1/4.
can choose that because people were saying that they did not do their tax returns for 2020 yet.
Okay, so you don't have to file your 2020 yet, but you can fill out the form, okay? And you have to make sure that actually really 25%. So you can fill out the form and see the situation, see the number. You don't have to file it yet. Okay.
Got it. That was very helpful because that was a lot of people were asking. Man Lee, I know that you are so busy today. Thank you so much on behalf of the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. We so appreciate your time and what you do for helping small businesses and making sure that that money trickles down to the real small businesses. So we appreciate it. For those who are still here, if you have any questions, Mark and I will be monitoring the chat until about 1:15, and we will get in contact with you. I have a copy of the chat. We have all the attendees, so we'll be able to refer you to specialists if you need them. Manly, you're good to go. I know that you're busy. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Be well and be safe. So for those who are still on, and you have some questions, put it in the chat. If we don't get back to you right now, if we don't answer you, I will make a copy and we will have someone try and get back to you as long as you put your information when you RSVP'd. So ask some.
Thank you, Helena. Thank you, Manly. And again, call 212-CHAMBER, and we'll have people help you, walk you through this again if need be. We have some great events coming up every week. Helena does an open house coffee on Tuesdays and an open house reception on Thursdays. On March 26th, we're celebrating Women's History Month, a big Zoom conference. And also on February 26th, we're celebrating Black History Month with a big Zoom conference with our iconic honorees. So thank you, Helena, for all you do. And thank you all the guests and members. And again, we hope to serve you and make sure that you can bounce back strong, because we're confident that New York City is coming back strong. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys can still, I told them till 1:15. So I'm trying to kind of if your loan is for 150,000 and less, she is saying wait another 2 weeks for another loan application that's going to be updated.
Okay,
And
well,
it's going to be easier to fill out and be more easier for forgiving instead of you paying it back.
Because there'll be less questions and less paperwork, and it may be partially automatic. Remember that you need all these forms for the record for 7 years. You know, your payroll, your 1099s if you're going individually. This is no magic bullet. This is lost revenue because people had to stay home, and our federal government just wants to make sure that you were doing that kind of business before. You're keeping the same number of people on the payroll, and that's what they're for.
Also, I am posting, people wanted the 3 o'clock. She is speaking on through the, I just posted it for the Queens College at 3 p.m. I just posted it on the chat for those who were interested in her 3 p.m. session. So for those of you, I'm just trying to quickly go through of what I can answer offhand. Regarding the PPP application, no, the PPP application is available right now through your lender, the second one. She was talking about the forgivable one, the forgivable application for you to fill out to make it a forgivable loan, forgivable as a grant and not turn into a loan. So again, for those who are applied and received money for your first PPP and not have filled out your loan forgiveness application and you have 150,000 and less, she is saying wait 1 to 2 weeks for that application because it is newer and probably easier to fill out and might have a little bit of stipulations in there in favor of the forgiveness. I'm quickly going through. There's specific questions that I cannot answer.
Elena,
you will need.
Not only
Yes.
wait, but they're two separate applications. You apply to get the money, and then you apply in a separate application to get it forgiven. So you have to display your documents twice. So it really comes down to common sense and good documents. And we have Jack Craven and Mr. Russo on the phone, many banks. But again, Helena and her staff will walk you through this. And we hope you can participate via email and attend more of these events. How much more time do we have to answer the chat live, Helena?
We have about 2 or 3 more minutes. So, and what we're going to do is if you're on this chat, we have your information because you got the link. And we will try and make sure that we're going to have another one another webinar with our panel of expertise, maybe to answer the specific questions, do a Q&A, because I know Manly just doesn't have the time to do Q&A because she's got to get this information out and disperse this to every, all the organizations throughout the Metro New York area. So we'll definitely keep you posted. Please don't put my email, helena@chamber.nyc. If you get it, don't put it in spam, because there's going to be a lot of information coming out for business assistance, more loans. There's going to be probably more stimulus money from what was said from the Biden administration yesterday. So you know what? info@chamber.nyc. Go to our website, chamber.nyc. If you guys are not members of the chamber, we greatly appreciate you supporting our organization. We are a nonprofit 501c6. We will put you in front of 30,000 different business and civic leaders. So, and give you the chamber logo and list you on our website and get you, we'll get you business contacts. We have 2 online events that are so popular. Tuesdays at 10, Thursdays a cocktail at 4. They're all online, and you get to make a lot of business contacts that way and pick up new business. So thank you very much. On behalf of the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce, everyone be safe. We will get back to you. We do have a copy of the chat, so don't worry about that. Mark Jaffe is our president. His email is jaffe@chamber.nyc, and mine is helena@chamber.nyc, and I am ANA, not ENA. So again, thank you for attending, and be well, be safe, and have a great weekend.